Alright, what's up guys? So I'm gonna start making some videos about the outdoors here in Kentucky and trying to capture some of my hunting footage and maybe some fishing footage. I haven't decided yet, but so I'm out here on a piece of public land, probably 30 minutes away from the house or so. And what I'm doing is I put a lot of miles on this piece of property, but there's some pieces that I haven't seen and that really interest me on the map. So I'm really trying to target some thermal hubs, look for some buck bedding, maybe some historic sign, and just try to really triangulate what the deer are doing out here. So I'm already in the woods a little bit, but we're looking at 89 degrees right now. Feels like 96, and it does. It feels like 96, but I'm gonna do some scouting here. If I find anything interesting, I'll pull you guys back out and kind of update you, see what I see. And there's a chance that I don't see anything worth looking at down here, but it really interests me on the map. There's some good attractions for deer, and it's pretty thick in here, so you can see just how thick it is. It could be a buck 50 yards from you and you never see it. So it's one thing about this bow hunting whitetail is you got to be in their bubble. So putting yourself within 40 yards of them, usually I like to do 30, but within 40 yards of them, you got to put in a little effort. So it's June 29th, about 4 o'clock. So let's see what we see. All right, so thought I'd give you kind of a rundown of what I'm seeing, what I'm kind of looking for. So right up in this area, super thick. Once you get past that spot, you can't really see much, but there is 2 trails that kind of split. One goes up that way, one goes around, follows this little bit of a bench. But what I'm looking at here is kind of comes down, goes right back up over there. There's some obstacles and some rough, like there's a tree that's kind of fallen over there, and just a big bowl. So thick cover, thick cover, thick cover. This is not very thick cover. I've already been down in this area, seen a couple deer tracks, but what I want to do is on my way out, so I'm going to work this, go over and kind of check out some different spots, and on my way out, if I haven't found a better spot than like this little X, so they're coming down from the right, they're coming down from here, kind of crossing in that bottom right there and going, splitting back out that way. So it's a good little X of movement, little funnel. I want to kind of head back up this finger here, see if there's any better pinch points, maybe have a little bit more of a close to the thermal hub, and work my way on around. Like I said, if I don't see anything better, I may let a camera soak for a week or two, see what it looks like, what comes of it. The tracks I seen down there wasn't but maybe a 1.5 to 2-year-old deer. Not really what I'm trying to target, but be worth seeing what's coming through here anyway. So I'm gonna work my way on up this drainage, loop around, see if I can see anything else, and mark it on onX as I go, kind of prioritize it. If I see anything super crazy good looking, let's get in the camera, and we're gonna try to beat the heat. Let's see what the temperature's down to now. So I got, feels like 96, 89 degrees. Trying to make sure to consciously drink water, because it is easy to get dehydrated out here. So I'm gonna work my way on up this drainage, see what looks good. Be right back. Something cool I thought I'd show you, working my way up this drainage. So there's a drainage here and a drainage here, and it's something that the map doesn't really display very well. So right here, it's kind of going to be an overlooked spot. So a deer can sit right up there, look down this drainage with the wind to its back, and see so much. And that's stuff that he can't smell. So with the wind on his back, he can smell everything on the back side of him. So I'm gonna climb up here and see if it looks like a good bedding area and check it out. It looks good from here. So kind of the first little spot right here that I said would be some good bedding area. I want to show you what it looks like from if a deer was to bed down here. It's pretty open below, getting a little thicker as you go up, and some thick cover up that way, but it's not as thick as I thought it was now I get up here. But something that's funny is, so there was a trail that comes in right here, comes down, splits over, and right here at this tree found some buck balm. So there's been somebody hunting it. I imagine they climbed this tree trying to shoot that trail over there and the one below. But we'll move on up here and see what we can see. Try to clean some of this mess up. So as I'm making my way up this drainage, it's getting more and more steep. A deer is not going to want to go down through that and back up through that. So you can kind of see right here is I came down from that bottom, worked my way up this way. There is a trail that runs right over to where that buck balm was. Comes right up here. I'm standing on it. And it's pretty beat. I haven't stepped over here yet. It kind of works its way up. So this is definitely some movement. Not enough to throw a camera on right now, but kind of sounds like I may have bumped a deer up in that way. So I'm gonna keep working my way up here, see what it looks like, where it goes to, and then slide around on the top side. I'm going to assume that based on the geography that there's another trail on that side, kind of for the similar reason. Nobody wants to do that. I don't even want to do that, so why would a deer? So we'll work our way up, see what happens. That's a deer right there behind that tree on the right side. Can't tell if it's a buck or doe. I think it's a doe when it jumped. It seems to be alone though, so I'll try to wait and see its head pop out of there. Looks like you can see it on the camera here, but I'm just gonna wait it out. Standing there still has been for the past at least a minute. I don't know if she got my scent or she's just below. She's dead in line with that tree back there. There she goes. Right up in there. So we just jumped a doe. I guess she was laying right down here in the shade trying to keep cool. She's still right up there on that knoll. Trail. Coming down this way. Looks like she took a trail that way. She's still standing up there. She blew, busted about, I'd say she went about 50 yards. Just standing there. Again. Trying to figure out what spooked her. She don't know. I can feel the wind hit me in the coming from my front left, so she didn't see me, which is why she spooked. I got so close to her, I think she was laying about 40 yards that way. She's trying to move on out quietly, still being careful. I can still see her. about 40 yards from where I was walking, and I was not being quiet. I was just kind of trudging through here. I'm on a trail. I'm wanting to kind of hit up what I think would be a good pinch point at the top of this drainage. She was down here soaking up some shade, trying to stay cool in this heat. She jumped, went up over there. Let's see, I can probably tell you. So she was between 40 and 60 yards. I kind of went through some brush there to find out. I think she was right at 50 yards, so that was my guess. And she, where I've got the wind in my favor, she didn't know what spooked her. She jumped up, went up there, blowed and blowed like crazy. Stood there real still, waiting to see what it was. Still never seen me. Stayed there a little while, and she remembered she was mad about something, so she blew a little bit more and moved on out. But I know it wasn't my scent, it wasn't my movement. She's just extra spooked because she got startled up that quick. So I'm thinking about going down there, checking out where she was hanging out at, and then going back up top there and seeing if my predictions is true, because I imagine this is some bedding and up in there is some feed, and they'll just kind of filter through here. It looks like we're on a good trail here, and it may fork out and head up to that feeding area like I was imagining. So pretty low on camera battery. I'm gonna toss the camera back in my pack. I got a charging box with me and try to get some charge on it, and yeah, I'll let you know what to figure out. This is the trail that I came in on. I jumped that doe. She was over there. I was right around there. So I came down to try to see the lay of the land here. We got a really good trail going up this way. A little trail heading that way. Trail heading that way. And a trail heading that way to where she was at. So right here is the cross of all the trails that I see at the moment. So what I was going to do is stick a camera on that tree, kind of facing me. It would catch this trail to my right. It would catch me. It may catch up there, but if anything came down through here, we'd have a problem catching it. So I don't know if you can see it, but put my camera right there. It's as far as my hands can reach high. It's, I don't know, 6 or 9 feet, probably 8.5, don't matter, somewhere around there. But there's a window right there and the trees in front of it, so it's capturing all of this movement. And I kind of put that deadfall right there. Maybe try to encourage them to slide on around here and get in front of the camera. I don't want to disturb the area too bad and booger it up, because as far as right now, I'm liking it. If I was to try to come in here and hunt this, I would sit on this side, and I'm really liking that tree right there above that greenery. It's not much of a backdrop, so I'm not too crazy about that spot, but it is an option. This tree, I looked at it, but it's really hard to get a shot anywhere, and you'd be really close to this trail. I'm really liking this tree right here. So there's some greenery blocking you. If I get right in that area, I think that's right on the camera. Yeah, right in that area, I'll have that tree behind me as a back cover, so it's not going to be silhouetted as bad, or I'm not going to be silhouetted as bad. And I'll be able to shoot down into this. It'll be a steep shot, so, but the good thing is they're not really going to go anywhere but into a better lane. So even if the scent is blowing down into this drainage, especially with thermals dropping in the evening, hopefully my scent would just miss the deer and head down into that drainage, which no deer's going to. Maybe over behind the camera, but hopefully it would kind of miss it. But we're going to try to avoid shooting way over there because it's pretty steep, and that kind of heads up to a private area. So try to stick on public, stay on public. That tree right there has my heart, so it's probably the one I'd climb. It's pretty straight. It looks like there's a little bit of a limb you'd have to get my tether around. But I'm really liking this area. I threw the camera out. We're gonna let it soak for at least 3 weeks because I know I put a lot of scent in here. Kind of working the area, throwing some stuff out. I had some jerky, Cajun, delicious. But I'm gonna put my pack back on, head on up this drainage on this side and kind of work back and forth and see what I can see. Maybe find a shed. Sorry, I wasn't pointing you right at me there. Maybe find a shed or something. I haven't really seen any crazy buck movement as far as rubs, scrapes, or anything, but this is a really good exit movement. So I imagine any deer going from bed to what I hope is feeding up that way will have, and we can kind of get a good inventory. A good licking branch would be my next thing to look forward to or make, but I think I'm just going to kind of case the area, see what comes through here on that camera. We'll head up that way. So down that way is where I'm coming from. There's just a highway of deer activity heading on the back side of this. And I was making my way up here and I must have got pretty close. There was a fawn spooked right there, bounded a few feet, and I think she stopped or laid down because she couldn't have gone more than 10 yards after she bounded. She just kind of wanted to get out of sight, I guess. I'm gonna move on up here. I'm gonna keep an eye out that way because I doubt that was mama that I jumped down there with the baby up here, so there may be another deer. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on working our way up this trail, watching. It looks really thick in here, so if a deer got right there watching downhill with the wind on its back, it'd be close to feed. So I imagine that would be a doe that would do that because it's just so close to feed. A buck or a mature buck's not going to really do that. But depending on time, I may just throw another camera on this trail, see what's coming up here. I don't want to put 2 cameras back to back like that unless there's a really good exit movement, and there's just one really good trail right here. So I'm gonna check the corner of this property or corner of this drainage, work my way back towards where that fawn jumped and see if there's any kind of deer activity, if it's holding anything worth trying to target. That deer's right up in here sitting there staring at me. See if I can get my binos on it without spooking it. Where are you at? There she is, right in the center of the screen, just staring at me. I knew she didn't go far. Just a little baby with spots on her still. Oh, I can see her really good right there. She's right up in here. Can't really. There she goes. There's her tail. She's still standing right there. Sounds like there's something else up in here. Still on public here. She's starting to kind of wander off. Again, my wind is just kind of going that way, so she can't smell me unless she smelled me where I bumped her at. I do like this area though. It looks like a good thick area, a little open patch right above all this brush. I'm gonna kind of check out some different areas in here, depending on what I see, especially if I can find a scrape of anything. I definitely like this area a little bit better. There she goes. I definitely like this area a little bit better if I could find something like that. but I'm not hating it. It'd be hard to sling an arrow through some of this, but that's what the deer like. That's protection. They like food, protection. That's how they live. Alright guys, so that kind of concludes my first real scouting trip for the year. I was able to find some sign here and there. I was really hoping to find some kind of bear scat or footprints near those black raspberries. Never did happen. Found plenty more though, and ate plenty more. I was able to find that real good X movement down there on public. Try to follow them here and there, but it seems like that was where they all converged. And you hunt the trails where they're the heaviest. So I'm gonna let that soak for a minute, and maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I've got another scouting trip planned this weekend. There's a spider. If all goes well. Not really sure which piece of public we're looking at going to, but talking to JR from Genesis 27.3 Outdoors. He's got a YouTube channel, got some videos up, some really good ones of him killing some monsters. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. Something like what he's got going on. Just enjoy yourself having fun and show everybody else how good these Kentucky woods can treat you. So, with that said, heart rate's down to 128. Did about 2.5 miles, which I was expecting to do about 4 or 5 until I changed plans last second. Changing plans last second put me in a different spot, but really cool. Really cool interactions with, I had a doe and a fawn that got to kind of watch through the binoculars and see where they were bedding, and hopefully get them and get their great grandpappy on camera soon. Before I edit this video, if any pictures come through of the deer on that camera, I'll just throw them up. So thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't. Have fun in the woods.